Today's video is about framing this painting, which is mixed media on 5mm plywood panel. It's lifted with wooden strips, so it fits in this tray frame. And I'm using pieces of foam board to have the same distance on each side of the panel. And it should be perfectly fitting, but there is still a little gap, so I'm adding piece of cardboard. And whatever I add on the left, I have to add it also on the right, or what I put on the top of my panel has to be also on the bottom part, so that you have the same amount of spacer or the same thickness of spacers on the four sides of your panel, so that it's perfectly centered in the tray frame. And then it's secured, and you should be able to flip your frame this way, and then you can start attaching the panel to the frame. I am measuring thirds at the back of my tray frame, so in this case it's 11 centimeters, and I am going I think 7mm from the interior edge, so that my screw will catch enough of the panel. And the panel is lifted with wooden strips, so it doesn't fall in the bottom because it's only 5mm, so the screws will go through these strips, so there is no risk to damage the painting because the screws won't be long enough. Then I do pre-holes with this hand drill, which I inherited from my grandfather. And it's enough to drill just the start of the holes to give the screws a better grip and insert them more easily on the next step. It does require a bit of strength, even though the wood is quite soft. Then make sure everything is smooth. Eventually use sandpaper to smooth it even more, and make sure there are no thorns sticking out. And I suggest that you keep the name of the painting on the back of your frame, so in case you separate them again at some point, you know which painting goes in which frame. The next step is to insert the screws, which are in this case 3mm diameter and 20mm long. This way it goes through the frame and through the wooden strips, which are on the back of the panel, without reaching the panel itself, so you are sure to not damage your painting. I am using an electric screwdriver, which is small and compact, so it's quite practical and it's okay for this job, but I have to admit that a normal drill would be much more efficient. Checking that nothing is sticking out, and you can flip your framed painting and start removing all the spacers. I suggest that you take time for this step and remove really carefully the pieces so that you don't damage the edges of your painting. Even though it's foam board, which is soft, you never know what can happen and you don't want to rush it. Oops! That's it, so it's framed and I am satisfied with the result. It's centered from the back as well. So the next step will be to add the wire, label and sign it, which will be the subject of an upcoming video, so make sure to subscribe if you don't want to miss it. This is Falling in the Stars, framed and in situation. Thanks for watching.